Welcome back to Writing Done Right. Well, we are going to do another GIMP tutorial today, and we want to show you from the computer how you can edit people out of the background of a more active scenery or location, or maybe just edit some people out. We're going to look at a couple different methods here, so follow along closely. Welcome back to Writing Done Right. I'm Tom Morosky, an author and a technology consultant, and I'm here to teach you today how to use GIMP, or the GNU Image Manipulator program, a free and open source cross-platform image editor with every bit of power as Photoshop. And we're going to use that free application and show you how you can edit some people out of backgrounds for various areas. So I used this technique when we were doing the book cover for Synaptergy. So I actually went out on location to shoot the image, and we actually did a couple images. The first time there's some fun stuff in there. I had to figure out how to edit out the background there. I'll have some Easter eggs on the website at synaptergy.com about that eventually. But that being said, we did go back to reshoot it when somebody volunteered to be the model for the cover, and so we went back to reshoot it, and I want to show you how we took a semi-busy quad, and that quad is in the middle of a university, and we took the cameras out there and we shot it, and I want to show you the best way to edit people out. Now, there's some good ways, there's some better ways, and there's some best ways. First, let me go ahead and talk about a little bit of the photography. The first thing is shoot it when you know you're going to have the fewest people. So we went to a very cold day. It was like 20 degrees out Fahrenheit for you people across the pond or something. But it was 20 degrees Fahrenheit out there, and it was so blistering cold that we knew no one would be hanging around. So anybody is going to be transiently passing through. There's your first tip. If you're doing your photography, find a time when you're going to have the fewest people hanging around. If I did that in the middle of the summer, it'd be impossible. We just have people hanging out there, reading their books, whatever else. We don't want to do any of that. But that being said, we did shoot the photography, and I'm going to show you what we shot, how we shot it. I'm going to show you the various strategies. Now, there's two basic methods I'm going to do. We can use a degree of layer masking or just simple deletion and merging and deleting layers together. We're going to show you how to do that. We're also going to show you how to use the clone tool to edit people out, because sometimes you'll get to a point where some people just aren't moving, or they're not moving in the correct directions to be able to easily edit them out. So we're going to show you how to use two different tools to edit people out of a landscape photo so you can have a good book cover with a good landscape scenery without a lot of people running around in the background. So let's jump on over to the computer and have a look at how to do that. Okay, so here we are on the computer, and we're kind of starting with what I did with editing the people out of the background on the book cover. So what we're going to do here is, let me just show you here. I don't want to move stuff around, but let's go ahead and scroll the image around to different views and things, and you'll notice that there is a distinct lack of people in this particular background. Now, one of the first things you're going to do, now I shot these photos, so the first thing you're going to do is you want to pick a time that's not going to have a lot of heavy traffic. You can't always do this. If you want to try and edit the people out of a scene in downtown Manhattan, you're probably going to have a difficult time. Now, in this case, being a university setting, what I ended up doing is we went there right about the middle of classes, where we're going to have the fewest people walking around, but we also did it on a very cold day. It was about 20 degrees out. And so that pretty much guaranteed nobody was going to be loitering out. You do this in the summertime, yeah, you probably just don't even want to try, because there's going to be a lot of people there. So what we did is we went over here and we took a couple of photos. So looking at our original photo, you'll see that there are a number of people in the background in different places. And so this is what we needed to get edited out. So what we did is we set up the camera on a tripod mount so that the thing would not move, and then we took several photos sequentially. So here is basically the same photo. See, there's just a little bit of slight change in the difference there. Not enough to make it a difference, but what you'll notice is that both pictures have people in different areas. So this is really the framework of what we're going to do is You get a couple photos. Of course, if there's more people here, snap as many photos as you can, and we're going to layer them together. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use the fact that there's different people in different places. Now, we can do this with layer masking like we did in a previous video, or in this case, I just deleted it because there's not a lot of people there. So I actually wanted to kind of have this picture here as the top primary picture. So going to drag that over there up on top. So now that is my top layer. So now what we're going to do is we're going to look at all the different places where we have people, and I'm going to edit the people out of the areas so that hopefully we can delete people out of one scene, and basically as they're walking down the street, then we had a couple different sceneries, so hopefully we could get everybody out. So the first thing we're going to want to do in GIMP is we want to add an alpha mask or an alpha channel. So you're going to right click the layer, or you can grab this inside the layers menu and go down and hit add alpha channel. What this is going to do, let me show you what that looks like without the alpha channel first. Let's remove the alpha channel. If I go to delete something, then what we have is a white line. But when we add the alpha channel, now we have transparency. So that's why the first step you need to do. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to adjust the opacity here. So adjusting the opacity is going to allow me to see kind of both images simultaneously. It's just going to enable me to see what's going on here a little bit better. So you can see here as this opacity goes down, we see a person over here, person here, here, and here. And as I bring the opacity back up, we got this person in the bright pink. This guy has progressed a little bit this way. This guy's progressed from down here up to here. So let's go ahead and just drop a little bit of opacity here just to kind of see what's going on. So the first step is this guy here. So you see here that we have nobody here, but on our overlay picture on top, we have people here. So now I'm literally just going to grab our eraser, and I'm only going to erase exactly what I have to. I don't want to erase everything because we could have some issues with some overlapping being a little bit off. So now we're literally just erase the individual person. But since we have the two overlaying images that are lined up perfectly, now this is where you'll notice a little bit off there. That's why we don't want to do the whole thing. Just be a little bit more careful. Again, only erase the very boundaries of what we need to erase. Now, there could be a few areas, like we could fix this up a little bit more. We're going to show you how to fix that up in a bit. But let me go ahead and erase this person first, too. So literally, that is how we're going to erase people from our photo. Once again, now these people walking, we're going to do those last because we're going to do that in a different method. Again, right here, these guys. There's a person here, so I want to make sure I don't erase down to that much. But pretty much everybody over here, I can just go ahead and erase here like this. Again, there's a little bit there we're going to have to fix up. We'll get to that in a minute here. So we're literally just doing an overlaying images here like this. And there should be another person here. Again, our background, I want to make sure I'm not doing anything there. This person right here is here now, so let's just go ahead and erase this guy. And this guy here. Okay, and I believe there's one more guy right here who in our other photo is further up here, back to here. Let's just go ahead and erase him. Now, since our fire hydrant is getting a little bit messed up, let's go ahead and erase a little bit more just to line up the fire hydrant, because that'll be the hardest thing probably to fix in this line here. So now we've pretty much gotten everybody out. Now we got these people here. So the first thing we're going to do at this point is I'm going to flatten these two images together. It's going to merge them down into a single layer. So let's go ahead and right click, and we can either merge down if there's multiple layers, or we can flatten the image. Merging down is generally a little bit safer. So now we have a single image. Pretty much everybody's cut out. Hold on. We did have to do something different before we did that. We want to bring our opacity back up to 100%. Now we want to merge down. Okay, there we are. we had a couple ghosts in the picture there. We wanted to get rid of the ghosts. All right, now there's a few things that we're going to want to do. This spot here is where the images didn't line up quite right, and this spot over here. So this is where we're going to want to use the clone tool. And what we're going to do is we're going to use the clone tool just to reline up the very edges here. So grab your clone tool and grab a brush. And then this is what we're going to do is we're going to come over here and just clone it over like this. That's going to fix up that ground. Little tiny bit right there. Let's just go ahead and do that. So now that's fixed up. We are going to do literally the same thing here. You can kind of see here these hard edges. That's kind of what we want to smooth out a little bit. So we're holding the control to pinpoint where you want it to start from. And we might have to realign it a couple times. Like that up there, I didn't like that one there. Let's go ahead and grab some from this side over to here. Let's just realign this here. And then fixing that last tiny bit, we're going to use this guy here as your bandage tool. So we're going to kind of start here. And this is going to do kind of like a color averaging. So you can see how that really fixed up all of the little things there. Now these people up here, we're kind of going to erase these guys with the same clone tool because there's not a lot else we could do since they were walking inside the perspective of the photo. So now we're just going to be very careful with the clone tool here. Because if we were to drag over like this, it may not work quite as well. So we're just going to be a little bit more careful with how we do this one. And we're just going to work to edit these guys out the best we can. Since they're so far out in the distance, we're not going to see them very much. Going to kind of basically make them look like a little bit of a bush there, honestly. And then grabbing our brush tool here again. Now they just kind of resemble more of a bush from the distance, especially since we're zooming out the cover like this. No big deal there. Now let's go ahead and inspect anything else. A little bit here. Let's clone tool this one. Fix that up. And there we've edited all of the people out. So the combination of multiple images layering on top, the clone tool, and your healing tool, with those guys, you can now produce a near perfect background, getting rid of all the people in this formerly busy square. Now, of course, let's go ahead and just talk about other applications of the clone tool here as well. I did use it to get rid of the writing up here, and I used it to get rid of this 2004. So if you notice here, there's no writing up here. The 2004 is out. Those are also likewise done with the clone tool. So I just kind of started here, and you can just edit out with your clone tool here in GIMP. Since the bricks are pretty uniform, this here is just going to do a really good job of cleaning this guy out. Okay, that one up there, that spot right there, get a little bit messed up. So let's just go ahead and fix that. So this is your power of your clone tool. And then, of course, we're going to be really careful right here at this edge here. Could be real careful right around here. In fact, what I actually did is on the original for the cover is I actually removed it on the picture where the kid wasn't in the scene. And that way, when I added him back into the scene, then all that was already gone. Now this part of the stone's looking a little bit different, so we're going to grab from the other side here. Can make that one look a little bit better. Okay, so now our 2004 is gone, and we're just going to do the exact same principle up here to get rid of these. Oop. Gotta be very conscious about where your tool is there. Now this one here, notice that it looks like we did cut off a little bit of this coloration. So let's just go ahead and bring a little coloration back in. And our healing tool will smooth out the rest of the lines. Okay. That doesn't quite look as good as it could. So let's go ahead. Actually, let's grab our healing tool again this way. That looks much smoother. So you can do that across the whole scope there also with the cloning tool. So we've gotten rid of the people out of the background. These guys were the hardest because they were walking in perspective of the lens. The other people, they were very easy because I was able to get multiple overlays and then just fixed everything else up here so that everything got all lined up in the end. So there's how you can remove people and do a few other minor adjustments inside of your systems utilizing the clone tool and the healing tool inside of GIMP. So with that, hopefully this will help you in working on your book cover designs. Again, here is our final cover. You'll see everything is nice and cleaned out. All the people are nice and cleaned out. And this is actually what these guys look like. So I end up getting rid of these ones by making the whole thing rebuild this part, which actually might have come from a different photo as well. So I did layer a couple more photos on this one when I did the full cover. So anyway, that is how we can do that. So let me know if this video helps you or other GIMP tips that you would like to see. And don't forget to take a look at the Synaptergy.com website for information on the release of the book. This should be out by May 2020. So if you're watching this way after that, it should already be out. Anyway, you can check out more information on the website there. So thanks for watching, and I hope that this video helped you to get your writing done right.